Alright, we're going to get into cleaning up these rims today. You can see it's all kind of wiped that part a little bit, but pretty nasty. So I'm going to get the wheels off, pull the stripes off of there. Those little Ford Racing decals off. Try to get these cleaned up. I'm going to start with the rears. Just take a wooden handle hammer, come from the back side, you can push these center caps out. Just using a plastic razor blade, peel the stripes up, they're kind of bonded on there. If they're being extra stubborn, probably just hit them with the heat gun, warm them up a little bit. Help get them off of there. So the big problem we're gonna have with these rims is just that somebody did some kind of parking lot hack paint job on them. You kind of see here. You can notice, you know, especially silver is really easy to see if someone's done some kind of half-ass paint job just by the way the metallic's gonna lay on there. So you know, it's like anything we do on this channel. It's not going to be perfect, but I think we can definitely make an improvement. You can see where the tape is literally just pulling the paint off. It's delaminating. So I've got a bottle with water and dishwashing soap. It's got like a paintbrush to agitate it. So we're going to clean it with a soapy water mixture first. I'll come back and finish wiping it off with that Prep All Wax and Grease Remover. Then we'll get into hitting it with a clay bar. Surface all cleaned off. Just using a plastic razor blade. There were some like big rocks bonded on there, so it's easy enough to just scrape that stuff off with a plastic razor blade. And then just gonna clean the tires. Pretty much always use this stuff. I like it. Bleach white. Alright, got it cleaned up pretty decently. Just used a paintbrush. Seemed like this hot rim's all wheel and tire worked out pretty good cleaning it up. So I'm gonna use the try using the M105 on there. The little Mothers, I think that's called a power cone or something like that. Try that out. Actually got some shine back, and like I said before, it's not going to be perfect. You know, some of this stuff, it was on there for so long, it really chewed into the rim, and you know, I'd really have to sand these rims down and repaint them to make them really good again. But you know, just for trying to clean them up, pretty dramatic difference. And then the big thing with this is that it's been painted, so you can see where it's delambing and the color doesn't match right, but you know, it's cleaned up. It'll look good from a distance, just rolling down the street. And just went over the center caps with the 151. So I hit the inside of the rim with the 105, and then went over it with the 151. Did the outside with the 151. Alright, there she is with the D151. Stuff does work pretty good. You know, didn't get it completely cleaned up, but at least there's some shine going on in there now. Just make a pretty dramatic difference being on the truck. Definitely brought the shine back. That's pretty good. Obviously the front wheels are kind of dirty too, but even if they were wiped off, they're really not that shiny. Even though center cap's cleaned up really nice too. Alright guys, what a gorgeous day today. Sun's blazing. It's comfortable. Got the Mustang pulled out already. Did the rear wheels on the Lightning and still got to do the front, so I'm gonna pull it into the center of the garage, get the fronts off. Turned out pretty good, but I was going through the footage and I was like, this is kind of terrible. Didn't really do a good job of explaining, you know, what I did. And then, I don't know, I'm probably gonna try some different stuff. Like, you know, I used this stuff on the rears and it worked pretty good. I almost, I don't know, feel like I probably need a wheel cleaner that has some acid going on, but I think we'll get it straightened out without the acid. So I'm gonna try this stuff out, see how this works. And then I think this time around I'm gonna like soak this on the dry rim and let it really penetrate all that doo-doo sauce and break it off of there. I think wetting the rim was probably not a bright idea. So I'm gonna try doing it a little different this time. I'll show you actually what I did with the center caps, you know. And then you know, I just used the 151, which comes in a huge gallon container, the PRC. Stuff's pretty good. So yeah, fire this beast up, move it over, and get these front wheels off, that tape and decal off there, get going on that. Alright, I'll show you how to pop that center cap out. But man, it's such a nice day. It's real tempting to just get on this R6 and roll out. But I guess we'll do the wheels. Just get a wooden handle. Come from the back side. Put your hand on the front so when it goes flying out, you'll be able to catch it. Don't take much. Oh, and I broke it. Nice. Stripes off this thing. Alright guys, yesterday used the hot rims. This stuff worked pretty good. Got the ultimate all-wheel cleaner. So instead of wetting this thing down, we're just going to try soaking it. You know, do it dry and let it work in there. I think that'll probably yield a better result than getting the rim all blasted with water right off the bat. Alright, well, it says it's supposed to change color. It's definitely changing color. That's pretty cool. So we're going to let this soak for about 4 minutes. I'll agitate it with a brush and see what this stuff can do. Alright, I sprayed down that center cap. It's been a couple minutes, so I'm just going to start agitating it right now. Alright guys, I have to say that this stuff's a real winner. And even on the tires, you know, I really like using the bleach white, but man, this stuff is very similar to the bleach white on the tire too, so it's pretty awesome. And then I think the winning combination here is going to be, I got a piece of gold Scotch pad. This is a pretty fine Scotch pad, but even using this super fine pad, it's like I just want to use it on these heavily soiled areas, and then, you know, just don't get crazy pushing on it. You just want to use that texture to help break the dirt off the surface. You don't really want to go digging into the surface. But yeah, it's going a lot better than the when we did the rears. Well, definitely getting there. Started on the other one. It's like it's bleeding up nicely. Stuff is definitely impressive, and it doesn't have a, it's got almost a really light hint of an acid smell, but it's nothing like super caustic. Check this out, guys. Just lifted the rim up, to get the water out of the inside. And stuff definitely works good. Liking that. Alright, so lifted it up, sprayed the outside a little bit. I don't know, I really like the stuff. I like the fact that it changes color. Seems like that's kind of a gimmick, but I think it actually helps you figure out whether it's clean or not. So that's pretty cool. Alright, got them cleaned up. About as good as they're gonna get. Not perfect, but pretty huge improvement. You know, the other thing is you could pretty much stop right here if you wanted to. Maybe just spray wax it. But we're gonna go ahead and fly over it with that D151. Just get a nice shine going. Let them dry up first. Alright, so just getting a little bit of that final inspection on there. Just moisten it up. Got the PRC 151. So this time we're going to do the fronts first because it'll be cleaner and this thing will get destroyed when we do the inside. So better off doing the outside first and then moving to the inside afterwards. Same thing with the center caps. It's going to go over it with the 151. Still got some cleaner bleeding out of there. So you can kind of see, I mean, just got into doing this, see how much it's pulling off of there. Alright, so you know, make sure you get that pad saturated. Spread the product out. You don't have to worry about it drying up. That's not going to be an issue. So, like, I'll focus a lot of tension on the outside and then kind of coming into here. You know, anytime you're doing stuff like this, you really got to work it on the paint. Like, don't be afraid to stay in the same spot and really work it in there. You know, and then getting in these nooks and crannies, just, you know, kind of fold it and get it in there. Really work it on there. Alright, so just wanted to get a shot of it with the 151 on there before I wipe it off. Well, there she is, all wiped off. Now, like I've said several times before with these wheels, the big issue with getting them to shine properly, it's just really going to boil down to somebody painted them. And you know, the texture has a lot to do with how something shines. Like, you see all the orange peel in there, and then whatever they sprayed on here just wasn't an even coat. It wasn't an even coat of clear. But from a distance, definitely looks a lot better. So I'm probably going to do another coat on here. You know, it might take 2 or 3 coats, or like I said, you know, just work some on there, wipe it off, and you know, you have to be the judge of what you're satisfied with. But you also have to understand the limitations of this stuff. You know, like I said, with this wheel, can't really get it that much better because of who painted it, and it's just not painted right. And then you'd have to get into sanding this, and it's probably just going to be a lot of hoo-ha for not much better of a result. So just kind of know the limits and try to work within them. Still get a pretty good result though. Alright, so this wheel is like a perfect example. Like you can see on this edge, that's the original color with all that metallic sparkle. And then what somebody put on here just doesn't have the metallic. You can see that slice where what they put on came off. And then over here too, somebody got it run, putting clear on it. And you guys who paint, you know how that happens. But like I said, I mean, that's kind of the limit of this wheel. You know, to make it look perfect would obviously have to get into, you know, sanding it down and repainting it and all that. That stuff gets pretty goofy. I mean, it's pretty time consuming, so you'd really have to want to do that to get into doing something like that. And in my opinion, you're better off just, you know, getting new wheels, or sometimes you can even get the original wheels, you know, repainted from, you know, just a vendor that does wheels or whatever. So it's up to you. You have to decide how much time you want to put into it. But, you know, like I said, I mean, just cleaning them up, working with what we got here, it's going to be a dramatic difference, and especially getting those barrels cleaned out. So, you know, we'll finish up the fronts here, and then we'll get into doing the back sides, get them finished up. All right, so getting into just talking about cleaning stuff too. You know, I've done a lot of videos about that Prep All wax and grease remover, and then I wanted to show you what happens when somebody paints something that hasn't been properly cleaned. You get into these fish eyes, like you see all this texture. It's called a fish eye because it literally looks like the eyeball of a fish. So what happens is you have a contaminant, and that contaminant is pushing the paint away. So you get what looks like a fish eye. It's that contaminant sitting there is pushing everything away. So kind of like this too. I mean, that might be a chip, but pretty similar concept. But this is a really good example if I can get a shot of it. Some of them are pretty small. You can see it on the light bulb. So like with a lot of this stuff, you know, especially painting, you really need a super clean surface. And sometimes like that could be something airborne too. Like you could clean this rim off and be ready to paint it. If someone was using like, you know, some kind of WD-40 or some kind of silicone spray, and that mist is in the air, that silicone mist is in the air, and it just lands on here, that's what will cause that fish eye. That silicone will sit on the surface, and it'll push that paint away, and it'll leave that fish eye mark on there. Alright, so I got it flipped over on the wheel chalk. So just taking the pad used, you know, I can flip it to the other side, get a little bit of that final inspection on there, and you know, really saturate this pad with the 151, and probably even just kind of spread it out. You know, if you want to work the edge, that's fine. You really don't have to. I mean, you're not really going to see it. You know, we're really just concerned with the barrel in here. Same thing with the backs here. Really don't have to get into that. You know, we're just kind of concerned about the areas that are going to be visible when it's on the vehicle. You know, kind of the same thing. If you want, you can break this into sections. You know, think of chopping this wheel into quarters and just do 1/4 of it. You know, work it really good. Move on to the next quarter. Work that area really good. It's probably a little bit easier than trying to do, you know, instead of trying to work around the whole thing at the same time. Another perfect example of how to spot when something's been painted. You see these marks in here? Those are sanding marks. And then you can see they're probably trying to get this big chunk out of here. See that showing up? You know, painting anything silver is really difficult. You know, whenever I was painting a silver car, you know, you have very little leeway with the prep work because if the metallic lands in a scratch, you're going to notice it. You know, the metallic needs to land in a uniform pattern. If there's a scratch in there, the metallics will lay at different angles and they'll reflect light differently, so it'll catch your eye. So that's why you can see these scratches in here. So, you know, once again, it's one of those things from a distance you're probably not really going to notice, so it's definitely something you have to get up there and look for. You can see where it's peeling off too, where they painted on top. It's the original color popping through there. Alright, got the insides cleaned up. Got some shine going on there. So any of this stuff, I mean, it's kind of throwaway stuff now. You know, you get done using the towel, huck it, you know, the applicator pad, just throw it in the garbage. You know, any of this wheel stuff. And then, you know, earlier on I was trying to use that power cone. It's like, yeah, the power cone probably works on a smooth surface, but, you know, these wheels are pitted and it's like it's just destroying the foam on that power cone. So just did it by hand. Yeah, it's not perfect, but definitely looks way better than it did. And got a little bit of shine going on there, so that's cool. So last thing we're going to do is hit the center caps with the PRC. See if we can get some of these swirls out of here and knock the doo-doo off of these. So I got a brand new applicator. I'm just going to run over them with the PRC, just like you know, rubbing that rim up. Pretty much same process. Alright, let's polish this thing up with the PRC. When I got done polishing it, I just applied some PRC like a wax. It's hazing up. And then I'll show you the difference with the one that hasn't been PRC'd yet. Alright, I wiped that coat of wax off there. See if I can get the see how nice that looks. So it's the one off the other side. See, there's a lot of dirt where the lugs go. I got all that off of there with the PRC on the other one. And then just look at all those little holograms in there. Big difference. And then even the applicator's got a lot of, you know, dirt that came off of it. It's a lot better. Alright, got the other one done. Definitely pull the vast majority of those holograms out of there. It looks way better. Got it cleaned up. This one was actually cleaner. I should have got a shot of this one, because the inside where the lugs go were really super dirty, and that PRC cut all that stuff out of there. It looks really good. So, I mean, that's the other cool thing about the PRC. You know, you can use it on the plastic parts, and you know, you could use it on headlights or whatever plastic. And then the plastic on these center caps, I mean, definitely cleaned it up really nice. Turned out really good. Alright guys, that is the finished product. Looking pretty good. I even used some of the PRC on the tops of the lug nuts, cleaned them up pretty nice. So, like I said, I mean, that D151 is pretty awesome. You know, can even use it on chrome, so pretty versatile stuff. I think having that barrel cleaned up makes a really huge difference on the look. So I'll get some shots of this outside, but I did want to give you a quick peek at this and just kind of talk about, you know, how to do this the best method. So first of all, I would pick up this Ultimate all-wheel cleaner. That stuff seemed to work out the best. And I would probably get, like, if you're doing 4 rims, I'd probably get at least 2 bottles and maybe even 3, because it definitely, I mean, doing the 2 rears, got pretty much nothing left. But that stuff's awesome. I would definitely do it like we did with the fronts, you know, soak it down with the wheel cleaner while the wheel's still dry. I think that definitely helps it bite into all the dirt and break it loose easier. Definitely get pick up a package of microfiber towels and probably at least 6 applicators, if not more. Definitely want to have a lot of applicators because you're gonna burn through them just trying to clean all this stuff up. And then that D151, if you pick that up, that comes in a gallon anyway, so you're not gonna run out of that stuff. But man, that looks great. And even doing the lugs, I just did the tops because you really don't see the sides anyways. But I mean, if I want to get like a little mini buffing pad for like a Dremel tool and go to town on those lug nuts, probably clean those up real nice. But just getting the tops cleaned off with I just put some 151 on a rag and did it by hand. Man, that looks really good. So like I said, this stuff worked great. Definitely like that. I like the fact that it changed color. I think that helped out. I'd also say pick up some gold Scotch pad. And definitely the plastic razor blades. I was gonna clay bar these wheels, but it's like they're just too destroyed. They're too porous. Like I tried claying one of them and it just destroyed the clay. So I really can't clay bar the wheels. I mean, you could probably clay bar the outside, but I don't know. I wouldn't even do that. Like, I think the 151 is good enough. I mean, if you wanted to clay it, you could, but I don't feel like that's really necessary. But man, what a difference. Definitely looking good. So I'll try to get some footage of this outside, but I figured I'd just go over what I think will work the best, because the way we did the rears just didn't seem like it worked out that well. Alright, let me get this thing outside. Those rims cleaned up real nice. Look at that. So like I was saying, I mean, you saw how bad these rims looked. I mean, the paint job on them is terrible, but from a distance, that looks great. Got these, the headlights and the HID straightened out. The fog lights going. Looks real good. like that, just the fog lights. Those DRLs going. Alright, she's getting there. Just gotta finish buffing this thing. It's kind of funny, like I said, I mean, outside it doesn't look that bad. You can see where I did that wax though. The white wax and the black wax. Stuff definitely makes a dramatic difference. Yeah, what do you guys think? What do you think of the stripes on the rims? Just leave them off? That's what my dad was saying. He says he likes it without the stripes. I think I agree with him. It's real good with those power stop rotors on there too. Very nice. Alright guys, tell me what you think. Leave those comments. Give me that thumbs up. Alright guys, I hope you liked this video. Hope you learned something. Check out that Meguiar's D151. I'll link it in the description if you want to get a hold of it. Stuff is pretty awesome. Alright, as always, thanks for watching. No, I appreciate you guys watching the videos and commenting and all that. It means a lot to me. Thank you. Alright guys, see you in the next one.